Alright, what's up guys, this is Jake, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how you can automate the marketing process for your Shopify store using an app called AdScale. So AdScale is an all-in-one marketing app that lets you go ahead and run Facebook ads, Google ads, all inside of the app itself, and it has AI technology that's going to help automate these ads for you and help to auto optimize them based off of customer data. And that customer data is stuff that you can take a look at as well inside of the dashboard, as well as being able to run SMS and email campaigns. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at how we can automate our paid advertising here. So the first thing you have to do is to go ahead and install the app. So you can install the app by searching for AdScale here in the App Store, or by clicking the first link in the description down below. Alright, so when you first go ahead and install AdScale and actually pull up the app, the first screen you're going to be brought to here is going to be the dashboard. And this is going to be where all of your data analytics are. So you're going to be able to see a lot of analytics brought straight from your store, and you're going to be able to analyze this data and use it to make marketing decisions. So we can see here, we can take a look at some store analytics here. So we can see our order numbers here. We can see the amount of new customers, the amount of repeat customers, and total revenue. We can see things such as our order trends right here. We can see our revenue trends as well. We can take a look at which of our products here are out of stock, and we can take a look at our top selling products that will show right here. Then we can see some more graphs down here. So this one here on the left shows our sales channels. So we can see that the majority of revenue from this store here would be coming from the web. And then we can go ahead and take a look at our order statuses here. So we can see that the majority of our orders are paid. We have some partially refunded, some pending, and some partially paid. And then we can take a look at all of our payment methods as well. And then we can come down here and we can see different things like advertising analytics. So we can see how many people view our content, how many people went ahead and added items to cart, how many orders there were, and then the total amount of revenue. We can see our advertising cost, our CPA, new customers, and repeat customers. And it will also show us our top selling ad right here. And in this case, it happens to be a Google search ad. So we can see we get a lot of interesting data and analytics here on the home page of AdScale from our store. So just by installing the app, we do get a very good overview of what's actually going on in our store. We can go ahead and click over here on Insights as well to go ahead and take a look at a little bit more data as well. So once we load up the Insights page here, we can go ahead and take a look at some of our key performance indicators here. This is going to be based on our total store history, so we can see total revenue, orders, unique customers, total products sold, our average order value, our customer lifetime value, the average amount of orders per customer, the average products per order, the repeat customer rate, and the repurchase frequency. So a lot of interesting data right here that we can go ahead and use to try and improve the overall marketing and sales of our store. We can take a look at our revenue trends here, month to month here. We can also click over and take a look at the order trends as well if we want to switch that. We can take a look at our customer segments right here. So we have repeat customers, lost customers, big ticket, recents, high AOV, and high CLV right here, and we can go ahead and add in new segments if we want to as well. We can take a look at our revenue by customers, revenue by products, and our repeat customers right here. And it also shows us our product analysis here. So we can see our products on sale, top revenue products, trendy products, new products, and the best sellers here. And then we can also see our revenue by region here. So we can see the amount of orders we're getting here. In this particular case, it's going to be by state in the US. So we can see that in this case, the majority of the orders are coming from New York in the US. We can come down here, we can see it shows our average order value is currently 178, and it gives us an average order value goal of 183, which would add an additional 232,000 of revenue per year right here. So we can see that this is an example of how valuable having data like this can be, because you can use it to go ahead and increase different metrics by seemingly small amounts, but it actually leads to very large revenue increases over the span of the long term. So we can see a lot more interesting data down here as well, such as the repurchase frequency, and we can see that if we shorten it here, it gives us an estimated of additional revenue per year as well, and it also gives us an advertising plan that we can go ahead and try and use to go ahead and hit this repurchase frequency target. And we can see that it's giving us the same thing for repeat customers as well. So not only is it showing us all of this data, but it's also giving us a plan to go ahead and try and improve these metrics to increase our revenue. So the Insights tab is definitely really useful, and that's all the information you're going to get on there. And now if we head over here to the product section, we can take a look at some data from our products here. So we start off with our key performance indicators here. And then we can take a look at our product segments here, so we can see how different product segments perform. So we have new customer magnets, repurchase products, new products, etc. And we can create and add new segments here if we go ahead and want to, and we can go ahead and see all of the data from how each one of these segments is performing. And then right here, we can see which of our products here are being frequently bought together. So this is useful information because if you see two products are being purchased together a lot, then you can potentially use that as an upsell opportunity to go ahead and try and bundle those products together. Then right here we can see how many of our products are selling as a percentage of revenue in terms of in-stock products and out-of-stock products. And we can go ahead and see which advertising channels are selling the majority of our products here. So we can see in this case Google search is generating the vast majority of the product sales. We can see here with 727 products, and then Facebook is next with 165. Then right here we can see data from our new customer magnets, which is just products that attract new customers. So we can see that information right here. We can go ahead and see some information about repurchased products. We can see that 7% of products have been repurchased by the same customer. And then we can see our top selling collections right here, sorted over here on the right. We can see our top 3 products by month as well, so we can see which products are performing well and consistently month over month. So that's going to be the products data section right here. So now we're going to go ahead and take a look at the customer section. We can see all of our different customer segments that we have here. So we have all of our customers here. We have one-time customers, big ticket customers, repeats, new orders, high orders, VIPs, and potential rebuyers. We can see different trends that we have among our different customers here, and we can see our new customer revenue as well as new repeat customers. So there's a lot of data that we can go ahead and sift through here to go ahead and utilize to try and increase our sales as well. And one of the biggest things with AdScale is that we actually don't have to use all of this data ourselves, only because AdScale's AI will actually be using all of this data to help optimize our campaigns as well automatically. So now we're to go ahead and jump into how you can actually create a Google Ads and Facebook Ads campaign all in one go. So we're going to be able to create campaigns for both Google, Facebook, and Google Shopping all in one go. So in order to do that, the first thing we need to go ahead and do is link our Google Ads and Facebook Ads account. So we need to come down here to settings. So now I've went ahead and switched over to a new store. So we're going to be setting up these accounts from scratch. So it's going to look exactly the same for you on your end. So we're going to go ahead and walk through this right now. Then we can first come down here to Facebook integration. And if we just click on enable Facebook here, and we just have to go ahead and follow these instructions to go ahead and link our Facebook Ads accounts. We can go ahead and click continue with Facebook. And we just have to go ahead and allow AdScale to have access to our ad accounts. And then once we have linked our Facebook profile here, all we have to do is select our store's Facebook page. And then after we select our store's Facebook page, then we just have to go ahead and select the business manager that we're going to be running our ads from. And then lastly here, after you select your business manager, then we just have to go ahead and select the corresponding pixel that we're going to be using for this store. And then now that we have all this set up, we can go ahead and choose to use an existing Facebook ad account, or we can create a new Facebook ad account under this business manager. But assuming you already have one set up, you can go ahead and just select that right here. But if you don't, you can create a new Facebook ad account right here. In this case, I already have one set up, so I'm going to go ahead and click on that and click apply. So once you've added all that in, you're going to see your setup status right here. So if there's a couple of things over here that don't have green check marks, you just have to go through them really quickly and follow these instructions right here to go ahead and get them green, and then you'll be good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then we're going to move on to Google. So next here, if we head to Google integration right here, we have two options here. So we can either use an existing Google Ads account, or we can go ahead and create a new Google Ads account if you don't already have one. And you can also go ahead and choose to enable Google Shopping as well. So clicking this will go ahead and allow us to either use an existing Merchant Center account or create a new Merchant Center account, and Google Shopping is going to just be another form of advertising that we can go ahead and set up automatically through one campaign. So I would recommend enabling it. So when we create our campaigns, we'll be running Facebook ads, Google search ads, and Google Shopping ads here. So we just have to go ahead and choose our main store category. And then once you go ahead and do that, you just go ahead and click on apply. And then we can see right here that in this particular case, we're going to just use a new account created by AdScale for search ads and for shopping ads, and I'm going to just click on apply once again, and then we are good to go. And jumping back over to the Facebook setup here, we can see our last one that was still red was our domain verification. It took a couple of minutes, but now that's set up as well. So now we have Facebook, Google search, and Google Shopping all set up and ready to go. So we can go ahead and actually create our first campaign here. So we can go ahead and do that by coming over here to ads. So if we click on ads, we can see that we're going to be able to create a campaign. So first off, we can choose the locations that we want to target. So let's say in this case, we just want to target the United States. We can go ahead and do that. But if we wanted to add in additional countries, we can go ahead and do that as well. Let's say we also wanted to do Canada. We can add that in. But in this case, we're going to just do just the United States. I'm going to click on next, and now we can go ahead and take a look at our demographics here. So we can go ahead and choose our targeted age range. So in this case, we'll just go ahead and keep it at 18 to 65 with male and female, and we'll let the actual AI go ahead and optimize the campaign for us as it goes. But if you do have good insight already onto the age of your customers, then you can go ahead and narrow this by age. And I'm going to go ahead and go to the next section here, which is ad types. So we can go ahead and choose the types of ads that we want to go ahead and do. So we have product ads are selected by default. So this is going to be ads directing to our product pages. They're supported on Facebook and Instagram, as well as Google Shopping and dynamic search. And then we also have brand ads here. So this would create ads directing to our home page, which is also supported on the same platforms. And then we have custom ads. So we can create ads directing to a custom landing page. So this is going to be up to personal preference. So if you just solely want to run ads to your product pages, you would keep this selected. But if you also want to run ads for like brand awareness to your home page, you can go ahead and click here. Or if you're trying to test out custom landing pages, then that's where we would use custom ads right here. But in this case, I'm just going to stick with ads that are directing to the product pages. So we click on next here, and then we can go ahead and create our product ads by choosing where we want to advertise here. So we can see that by going ahead and integrating our Facebook and Google accounts, we can go ahead and create product ads for Google search, Google Shopping, Facebook, and Instagram all at once right here. So if I go ahead and click on next, we can actually take a look at the targeting right here. So this section here is going to show us the different audiences that we're going to go ahead and target. So we can see we have new traffic and remarketing. So we want to make sure that we're running both campaigns to new traffic and remarketing, and this is because we obviously want to be advertising the new traffic to try and get new buyers into our funnel. But we also want to have a remarketing campaign to make sure that we convert existing traffic that hasn't yet converted right here. So new traffic audiences can consist of things like lookalike audiences and interest-based audiences that we can select. And we can see the lookalike audiences here are going to be created automatically. And then remarketing is going to be based off of visitors to our website or our social media accounts. And if we wanted to create a custom audience group or add more audiences, we could do that right here. But I'm going to keep this on default and go ahead and head to next. And this is where we can go ahead and define the targeted audience by interest for our Facebook ads. So this is where we can go ahead and include at least one interest here, which is going to help dial in our campaign. So this is going to depend on obviously what niche you're in and what types of products you're selling. In this case, on this demo store, I just have products related to like poker and cards. So I could go ahead and just search for poker as an interest here. And I could go ahead and add like online poker, Texas Hold'em, Poker Stars, and add in a few interests right here. And once you're done adding in interest related to your niche and products, we can go ahead and click on next. So this screen is where we can go ahead and select which products we want to actually be advertised in this campaign. So we can see here there's a bunch of different collections right here that are going to be automatically curated based on the AdScale AI. So best sellers, new product, trendy products. And then we can see right here that it also shows all of the collections that we have in our store, which right now in this demo store here, I only have the homepage collection. So if you only wanted to advertise specific products, you could put those specific products in an actual collection and then just select that collection here. And that would mean that you're only going to be running ads to those specific products right there. And once you've selected that, all of these are going to be updating on their own as well. So you won't have to worry about coming in here and changing this. If you add products to the collection, it will automatically update in here within AdScale. So then the next thing we can select here is creative options for products and carousel. So we can go ahead and show a looping video per product with multiple images, or we can show a single image of one per product. So I'm going to keep it on slideshow here, and then I'm going to click on next. So then this next section here for content is where we can actually go ahead and fill in some of the content that's going to be showing up in our ads. We can see that some of it is automatically done. So we can see Google searches headline 1 and 2 is going to automatically be populated by the product title. And so all we have to fill in here is going to be the Facebook post, as well as a description for Facebook and a description for Google search. And we can choose whether or not we want to show the product's price in the ad. So if you need a little bit of inspiration on what to actually write for your ad copy, you can come up here and click on one of these templates, and we can see here that it kind of auto populates us with the text. So if I clicked on sale, for example, it gives us two different examples of copy that we could go ahead and use. So if we went ahead and use this as an example, you can go ahead and customize the text to fit your own store right here, as you can see. And when you click over here on Google, you can see that this is what the Google ad preview is going to look like. And when you click back on Facebook, you can see that this is what your Facebook ad is going to look like as well. So you can go ahead and use one of these pre-made templates and customize it to fit your store, or you can go ahead and write your own custom copy as well. I'm not going to go too deep on ad copy in this video because I already have other videos on that. So once you've went ahead and set up your ad copy right here for both Facebook and Google, your content is going to be ready to go. And once we fill in our copy here, we can go ahead and go to the next section, which has to do with negative keywords. We can see here negative keywords prevent your ad from being triggered by a certain term or phrase. So your ads won't be shown to anyone who is searching for the keywords that you enter below. So if you have specific keywords that you do not want to show up for, you can put them right here. So there's sometimes where you have certain products or you're in a certain niche where there's going to be certain keywords that may sound similar to your product but aren't related to your product whatsoever, or that just don't convert really well. And that's where you can go ahead and exclude them from your budget right here. If you have one of those products where there is going to be a lot of low converting keywords you don't want to show up for, that's where you can go ahead and put them in right here. And then once you've put in your negative keywords, you can go ahead and click on next. And now we can go ahead and set up our scheduling here, so we can choose which time and days our ads are going to be active. So if we wanted to So by default, it's going to be on all days, and I would recommend keeping it on all days because the actual AdScale AI will go ahead and optimize your budget based on the most active hours. So you're not really going to have to mess with this yourself. But if you want to, you can. So you could go ahead and choose Monday to Friday or make a custom setup. But I'm going to just keep it on all days and then click on next here. And now we have the last thing that we need to look at, which is our budget here. So in terms of budget settings, by default it starts out at 20, but you have to remember this is your budget for Facebook, Instagram, Google search, and Google shopping. So you may want to put in a little bit more budget if you want to see test results back a lot quicker. So this is going to vary depending on what your overall marketing budget is, but keeping in mind that this is your budget for pretty much all of the marketing platforms, all the major ones. You can probably up this a little bit right here, and you can choose whether you want to set your daily or your monthly budget. And then we can go ahead and choose an optimization target. So by default, it's going to be an automated. So this is going to mean AdScale's AI is going to set the goal according to data from your shop. So this is going to be the recommended option, and it's going to keep things a lot simpler for you. You can go ahead and set up manual optimization targets if you want, but it's going to be a lot easier to keep it on automated and just let the AI do its job here. And you can go ahead and choose your campaign objectives. So this is going to be by default conversions. The call to action for Facebook is going to be shop now, and the optimization event for delivery is going to be purchases. And once we set all this up, we can just click on next. And at that point, you've went ahead and created your campaign. And then in order to actually make the campaign go live, you just have to go ahead and select a plan right here. So you can go ahead and choose your monthly advertising spend, and that will determine how much the plan actually costs. So that's how you can set up an automated Facebook and Google ad campaign all in one go using AdScale. So now we're going to quickly touch on some of the other features inside of AdScale as well. All right, guys, so moving on, we're going to click on the SMS section right here. And this is where we could go ahead and set up some SMS marketing if we want. So we can see we can go ahead and create a campaign from scratch, or we can go ahead and choose one of these templates here that is already set up for us. So let's just go ahead and run through one of these really quick. So if we click on abandoned cart reminder, we can see that by default right here, this is going to generate some content here for whenever we have an abandoned cart. So you left some products in your cart, come back and grab them now and get 20% off with the code right here. So we could go ahead and edit this content if we want, or we could just keep it as the default content right here. For the sake of the video, I'm going to just keep it default, go to next here. And then we can see that we can choose to send this when an event occurs. So by default, it sets up as the event here as someone initiated their checkout here, and you can choose to exclude recipients here if you wanted to, but in this case, we'll just keep it default. And then by default, we can have skip context who received a message in the last 3 days, just so we're not like bombarding people with messages. So we'll keep that checked by default as well. And if we click on next, we can now go ahead and choose our scheduling here. So we could go ahead and send this at a specific time. So whenever they abandon their checkout, we could go ahead and just send it, schedule it for every day, and send it at a specific time right here in the contacts time zone. And we can choose to start this campaign now, and we will just run it indefinitely here. So you can choose which time your abandoned cart text messages to actually send out right here. Then you can click on next, and then you can see that just like that, you have created an SMS campaign. But just like with the ads campaign, you have to go ahead and select the plan. So we can see here that the billing is actually in 3 different sections here. So you can choose to set a budget for monthly advertising spend, you can set a budget for SMS messages, and you can set a budget for emails. So depending on which one of these services you want to use, you can go ahead and customize your plan accordingly. So you don't actually have to use all 3 of these if you don't want. So if you only want to say run the Google and Facebook ads, then you'd only have to set your advertising spend and you wouldn't have to worry about these. Or if you only wanted to run like email, then you could go ahead and choose how many emails you want to send per month. So lastly, we're going to jump over here to email, and we're going to see that this is very similar to SMS here. So we can go ahead and go through and choose whether or not we want to start a email design from scratch, or we can go ahead and choose one of these templates here. So in this example here, I'll go ahead and just use the coupon template, and we can go ahead and click next, just so we can see what it looks like here. So we can see that we have an email campaign right here and the template's loaded up. We can go ahead and set a subject line for this particular email. Could be like, here's a gift for you. And then right here, this is where we can actually customize the actual email. So we could go ahead and click on this and put our logo in here by clicking upload image. We can come in here, click on any of this, change the colors and the text in here. We could do something like this instead. We can go ahead and customize any of this just by clicking, and it's all drag and drop, so we can move it around just like that. So the editor is very intuitive, and it's very similar to editing things within Shopify, so it's easy to use. You can go ahead and put their coupon in right here. You can change these different buttons, and if you want, you can come over here to blocks as well, and you can go ahead and add in specific blank blocks here to your email as well. You can choose to go ahead and search through different stock images, and then you can edit some of your text settings right here throughout the body by changing the text colors. You can make all of this match your branding pretty easily. And then once you are going ahead and completely set up, we can see that right now the button links are empty, so it's not letting us move forward. So we'd have to go ahead and have the buttons here linked to something. So we could go ahead and take our site URL, put in our site URL just in all of these buttons really quick, just so that way we can go ahead and click next, and then we can go ahead and choose where we want to send this email here. So we could go ahead and send it to all of our email subscribers, all of our customers, one-time customers, a bunch of different options we have right here. So in this case, we could just send to all email subscribers, and we could exclude recipients if we want to as well. And the same thing, we can skip contacts who have received messages in the past. So just like SMS, we're setting up everything else exactly the same. So we can choose to send this out once. We can choose to send it now. We can choose to send a recurring email, or we can send it out once but schedule it for a time in the future. But in this case, we'll just click send now for the sake of the example. And then we can see that just like that, we go ahead and be completed. So that's how you can go ahead and automate your Shopify marketing within AdScale all in one place. You can go ahead and set up smart campaigns for Facebook and Google advertising that are going to be optimized automatically by AdScale AI. And if you also want to manage your SMS and email marketing in the same spot as well, you can do it all within AdScale. So be sure to check out AdScale by clicking the first link in the description down below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave it a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel for more videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one.